Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about something real. Most people don't struggle with money because they earn too little. They struggle because of simple, tiny mistakes they repeat every single day without even realizing it. The good news is, once you spot these mistakes, you can stop them, and avoiding them can completely change your financial future for the better. So, if you're ready to take control, let's dive into the 8 most common money mistakes young adults make and how you can start fixing them today. First up, and this is a big one, not tracking your expenses. Have you ever looked at your bank account at the end of the month and wondered, where did all my money go? It feels like it just vanished into thin air. That's because those small, seemingly harmless purchases, that daily coffee, the lunch you bought because you forgot to pack one, that little impulse buy online, they add up incredibly fast. Awareness is the first step to control. You can't manage what you don't measure. You don't need a complicated spreadsheet, just use a simple app or even a small notebook. When you see exactly where your money is going, you'll be shocked, but you'll also be empowered to make smarter choices. Alright, mistake number 2, living above your means. This one is so easy to fall into, especially when you get your first real job or a nice pay raise. Suddenly, you have more money, and the temptation to upgrade everything is huge. This is called lifestyle inflation. Your rent goes up, you get a fancier car, you start eating out at more expensive restaurants. A lot of this pressure comes from trying to keep up with friends or what you see on social media. Everyone looks like they're living their best life, right? But here's the secret. Spending more doesn't automatically mean living better. It often just means more stress and less freedom. True wealth isn't about what you spend, it's about what you keep. This brings us to mistake number 3, ignoring savings early on. The most common lie we tell ourselves is, I'm young, I have time. I'll start saving later when I make more money. This is one of the most expensive mistakes you can make. Why? Because you're giving up your most powerful asset, time. Thanks to something called compound growth, even small amounts of money saved in your 20s can grow into a fortune over the decades. The money you invest earns returns, and then those returns start earning their own returns. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. Starting small is infinitely better than waiting for the perfect time to start big. Even saving $50 or $100 a month right now puts you way ahead of the game. Don't wait. Next up, mistake number 4 is having no emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. Your car breaks down, you have an unexpected medical bill, or you suddenly lose your job. Without a safety net, just one of these emergencies can send you spiraling into serious debt. What happens? You're forced to put everything on a credit card, and that becomes your only backup plan. The stress that comes with that is immense. An emergency fund is your financial peace of mind. It's a buffer between you and disaster. The goal is to save up at least 3 to 6 months' worth of essential living expenses in a separate, easy-to-access savings account. Don't touch it for anything else. It's not an investment fund. It's an insurance policy against life's curveballs. Let's talk about mistake number 5. Misusing credit cards and buy now, pay later services. Credit cards can be great tools if used responsibly, but they can also be a dangerous trap. The biggest trap? The minimum payment. Banks love it when you only pay the minimum because it keeps you in debt for years, and they collect a ton of interest. And now we have buy now, pay later, which feels so harmless. Splitting a purchase into 4 easy payments sounds great, right? But when you're doing that for multiple items, it all adds up, and suddenly you have hundreds of dollars in payments due every month. Interest, whether from credit cards or late fees on BNPL, silently drains your money away. The rule should be simple. If you can't afford to buy it with cash right now, you can't afford it. Mistake number 6 is a classic. Confusing your wants with your needs. We are masters at justifying our spending. We tell ourselves we need that new phone. We need that gym membership we barely use. Or we need subscriptions to 5 different streaming services. These are lifestyle choices, not necessities. Needs are the basics: food, shelter, water, and essential transportation. Everything else is a want. The problem is subscription overload and a total lack of spending boundaries. Take a hard look at your bank statements. How many of those recurring charges are for things you truly need versus things that are just nice to have? Cutting back on the wants is the fastest way to free up cash for your actual goals. This leads us perfectly into mistake number 7, not having any financial goals. If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there, but you probably won't like the destination. Without goals, your money has no direction. You end up spending without purpose, just drifting from one paycheck to the next. Do you want to travel, buy a house, start a business, be debt-free? These are goals. And goals create discipline. When you have a clear why for saving and investing, it becomes so much easier to say no to mindless spending. Write your goals down, make them specific and give them a timeline. This transforms money from something you just spend into a tool you use to build the life you want. And finally, mistake number 8, avoiding financial education. So many people treat money like a game of luck, hoping they'll just figure it out or get a lucky break. But personal finance isn't about luck, it's a skill. And it's one of the most important life skills you can learn. The best part is, you don't need a finance degree. There is an incredible amount of free, high-quality information available everywhere. On YouTube, in podcasts, blogs, and books. Investing a little bit of time each week to learn about budgeting, saving, and investing will pay you back 1,000 times over. Don't be intimidated by it. Start with the basics and build from there. Financial literacy is your path to financial freedom. So there you have it. 8 common mistakes that can hold you back. But here's the most important takeaway. These mistakes are common, but they are also optional. You don't have to make them. You have the power to choose a different path. The key is not to get overwhelmed and try to fix everything at once. Just pick one. Maybe this week you start tracking your expenses, or maybe you set up an automatic transfer to a savings account. Small, consistent changes today are what lead to massive freedom and security tomorrow. You've got this. Do you ever feel like you're just not cut out for this whole money thing? You get a paycheck, you feel good, and then poof, it's gone before you even know where it went. Here's a secret. Most people don't struggle with money because they earn too little. They struggle because they're making simple, common mistakes over and over again, every single day. The good news is, these mistakes are totally fixable. And once you start avoiding them, you can completely change your financial future. Stick with me, and we'll break down the top 8 money mistakes that are holding young adults back, and more importantly, how to stop making them for good. First up, the classic mistake, not tracking your expenses. You know the feeling, you look at your bank account and you're like, wait, where did it all go? It feels like your money just evaporates into thin air. That's because those small, seemingly insignificant purchases add up way faster than we think. That daily coffee, the subscription you forgot about, that one little thing you bought online. Individually, they're nothing. But together, they're a budget killer. The first step to taking control of your money is simply knowing where it's going. You don't have to be a spreadsheet genius. Use a simple app, a notebook, or your phone's notes. Just track every dollar for 1 month. I promise you'll be shocked. Awareness is the first step to control. You can't fix a leak if you don't know where it is. The second mistake, and it's a huge one, is living above your means. This often kicks in right after you land your first real job or get a nice pay raise. Suddenly you feel like you've made it. You deserve a nicer apartment, a fancier car, designer clothes, and nightly dinners out. This is called lifestyle inflation. Your income goes up, but your spending goes up even faster. A lot of this pressure comes from trying to keep up with what we see. Your friends are posting pictures of their amazing vacations, and your social media feed is full of influencers with perfect lives. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that spending more equals living better. But that's a dangerous illusion. True financial freedom isn't about having the most stuff. It's about having control over your life and your choices without being a slave to your bills. Remember, looking rich and being rich are 2 very different things. Mistake number 3 is a silent dream killer, ignoring savings when you're young. It's so easy to think, I'm young, I have my whole life to save. I'll start when I'm older and making more money. This is one of the most costly financial mistakes you can possibly make. Why? Because you're giving up your single greatest asset, time. Let me introduce you to your best friend, compound growth. It's the magic that happens when your money starts earning money, and then that new money also starts earning money. The earlier you start, the more powerful this effect becomes. Even saving a small amount, like $50 or $100 a month, in your 20s can grow into a massive sum by the time you retire, far more than if you started saving much larger amounts in your 40s. Starting small is infinitely better than not starting at all. Don't wait for the perfect time to save. The perfect time is right now. This brings us to mistake number 4, having no emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. Your car breaks down, you have an unexpected medical bill, or you suddenly lose your job. Without a safety net, one single emergency can send your entire financial life into a tailspin. What happens? You turn to the only option you think you have, credit cards. And just like that, you're in high-interest debt, trying to dig yourself out of a hole that keeps getting deeper. An emergency fund is not an investment, it's your financial first aid kit. It's 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses, sitting in a separate, easy-to-access savings account. Having that buffer doesn't just protect you from debt, it gives you peace of mind. The stress of knowing you're one unexpected bill away from a crisis is exhausting. Building that fund gives you the freedom to handle life's surprises without panic. Mistake number 5 is a modern-day classic. Misusing credit cards and those tempting buy now, pay later services. Credit cards are tools, and like any tool, they can be incredibly useful or incredibly destructive. The trap so many people fall into is only making the minimum payment. It feels like you're doing the right thing, but you're actually getting caught in a web of high interest. That $20 t-shirt can end up costing you $40 over time. And then there's buy now, pay later, or BNPL. It seems so harmless, breaking a purchase into 4 easy payments. But then you do it again and again. Soon you have a dozen of these little payments nibbling away at your paycheck every month, and you've lost track of how much you actually owe. Interest and these small, spread-out payments are silent wealth killers. They drain your money without you even noticing until it's too late. The rule is simple. If you can't afford to buy it with cash today, you can't afford it. Next up, mistake number 6. Confusing your wants with your needs. This is a subtle one, but it has a huge impact. A need is something you truly require to live. Food, shelter, basic utilities, transportation to work. A want is everything else. The problem is, we've become experts at labeling our wants as necessities. You don't need a $200 pair of sneakers. You want them. You don't need 5 different streaming subscriptions. You want them. You don't need to eat out 3 times a week. You want to. This is where subscription overload comes in. We sign up for free trials and forget to cancel, or we accumulate so many monthly charges that we don't even realize how much they're costing us. Without clear boundaries between what you truly need and what you simply desire, your spending becomes chaotic. It's not about depriving yourself. It's about spending intentionally on the things that truly add value to your life. Mistake number 7 is like trying to drive across the country without a map, not having any financial goals. If you don't know where you're going with your money, then any road will do. And that road usually leads to mindless spending. Your money comes in, and it goes out without any real purpose or direction. Why are you working so hard? What are you trying to achieve? Financial goals are the answer to these questions. They give your money a job to do. Maybe your goal is to save for a down payment on a house, pay off your student loans in 3 years, or build an emergency fund. Whatever it is, having a clear, specific goal transforms your entire mindset. It turns saving from a chore into a mission. It gives you a reason to say no to a pointless purchase because you have a bigger yes you're working toward. Goals create the discipline that turns your financial dreams into a financial plan. And finally, the 8th mistake that underpins all the others: actively avoiding financial education. It's easy to feel like money is this big, complicated, scary thing that only experts can understand. So we bury our heads in the sand, hoping for the best and relying on luck instead of knowledge. But here's the thing: financial literacy is not a talent you're born with. It's a skill you learn. And in today's world, there is a mountain of free, high-quality information available at your fingertips. There are amazing YouTube channels, podcasts, blogs, and books that break down these concepts in simple, easy-to-understand ways. You don't need a degree in finance to manage your own money effectively. Learning about budgeting, saving, investing, and debt is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. It's a fundamental life skill, just like learning to cook or swim. Don't leave your future up to chance. Having a solid emergency fund is your financial safety net. But so many young adults skip this step entirely. They think, "Oh, I have a credit card, that's my emergency fund." But relying on credit cards for unexpected expenses is one of the fastest ways to get into serious debt. Imagine your car breaks down, you lose your job, or you have a sudden medical bill. Without a dedicated emergency fund, these situations can turn a small problem into a financial catastrophe. The stress is overwhelming. An emergency fund isn't just about money, it's about peace of mind. It's a buffer between you and life's surprises, allowing you to handle them without derailing your entire financial future. The goal is to have 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved in a separate, easily accessible account. It might sound like a lot, but you can start small. Even having $1,000 saved can make a huge difference when that unexpected bill arrives. Next up, let's talk about the silent money drain. Misusing credit cards and those tempting buy now, pay later services. Credit cards can be great tools, but they can also be a trap. The biggest trap? The minimum payment. When you only pay the minimum, you're basically agreeing to pay a ton of interest over a very long time. That $20 t-shirt could end up costing you $40 or more. And then there's buy now, pay later. It seems so harmless, right? Splitting a purchase into 4 small payments feels like you're hardly spending anything, but it adds up fast. Suddenly you have multiple payments coming out every week for things you bought months ago, and your budget is a mess. It's a psychological trick that makes you spend more than you can afford. The interest on credit cards and the late fees on BNPL silently drain your bank account without you even noticing. The key is to treat credit like cash. If you can't pay it off in full at the end of the month, you probably can't afford it.